All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, real fast, we're going to look at a couple things. This is a satellite photo of Delphi, Indiana. Very interesting. And you have to ask yourself, how did this happen? How did this happen, right? Now, look at all the ways to that whole area. Now, a lot of people, when they look at this satellite photo, you can't see nothing, right? There's actually old trails that are woven in there. Hello, Miss Justice Jane. But you can't see them right now because of the canopy, the tops of the trees. But there are trails in there. So that's very interesting. Because a lot of people think, well, how did this happen? How did they, right? The girls were found right over here, shallow part. Could they have crossed there? Yeah. But you have to remember, we're not seeing satellite photos of that day. Okay? We're not seeing that. And that day, it was warm. But before that, they actually had snow out there, I think. It was very cold. Snow flurries or whatever, right? So it was very warm up here up north. We had tons of snow, not 3 days before this weather, I think, 2 days. And within a day or two, it melted. Now, we all know that everything runs down from up north, everything runs after Lake Michigan, runs down south into lakes, rivers, and even Delphi. So at the time of the murders, I can guarantee you that lake was higher than what we're seeing in this video. And I wouldn't, I, I, I don't know if we would even see this giant sandbar in the middle of February when it's high because all the snow melted and all the ravines, all the runoff, everything from this area runs off into that river. If you look up further, it all runs into this. Well, they call it a creek. It's a river. I mean that's not something you could jump over, folks. To me, it's I got a creek in the backyard runs through. It's a little, you know, that is a river. Uh, so he these people knew the phone never moves, right? People are 2:32. The phone never moves again. Well, you know what? For all we know, at 2:32, the phone was shut off, and they did whatever. good God Almighty, the girls weren't found until the next day, noon. The whole time it showed, well, the phone, it never moved after that. It was, oh, so almost like it powered down or was shut off. Well, possibly they said it was powered down, standby mode or whatever, and it powered down, battery ran out, whatever. Okay, so now the phone is not sending a signal, receiving a signal. So now the phone could be there or it could be anywhere. That's true. Because you can't get from the top of this bridge. I don't care, not, you can't get from the top of this bridge. Actually, it's over here somewhere, right over here where he says, we don't know if he kept walking down this way, this trail, this giant trail all the way to the end and then came over here and crossed. They're saying he came across and they went down the hill right there and crossed right there. Ended up over here. Well, I don't care. There ain't no way that they were going to go from this point to here in 5 to 7 minutes. You can't get there, especially with two girls. Now, some people said, well, he killed them right away. There's 49 seconds of recording. So, and the police believe they were killed in that, what we heard. They edited everything out. No, that's a lie. We know there's more than 49 seconds of recording because you can't get from that bridge to that spot in 49 seconds, which the police said they believe that the girl succumbed to death on that footage and would not release it because it was too gory. So now we know there's more than 49 seconds. Even if he ran, he would not be able to make it in 7 minutes to that area with two girls. Too much of a terrain, wet, soggy, mud, and then you got a river to cross. And then you got to climb up a steep embankment on both sides to get to the river and get up the river. You ain't doing it in 7 minutes. There ain't no way. There's no way an athlete would have trouble in 7 minutes probably. In February, people on the bridge right here, as this is all happening, there's people that claimed in the beginning of this case that they were on the bridge that time taking photos. There was people up here. This is how we know somebody planned something or somebody is lying about something, because if Richard Allen was there to get his freaks off and that was it, he would have went ahead and got the girls that seen him right up here where there was 3 girls by themselves, 3 or 4 girls by themselves, and he would have been done with it and been out of there. There was no one around except for them girls. But he didn't. He continued on his path, his mission. He waited. Now, here's the thing that I'm saying, folks. This is what I'm saying. And I agree with other people out there. No offense to anybody's family or anything out there. Miss Justice James says time frame is what you're saying. Time frame. I'm saying it's possible this murder or this thing occurred way before the time. I'm saying it's possible somebody had control of the phone, and what we are seeing is somebody's sick, twisted mind to cover something up. Time off, and so many other things with witnesses, other people in other places. Flannel guy, dog lady, dog man. Remember all them people in the beginning of the case? Remember creepy guy? Too many people, too many pings around that area. Too much madness. Now, I believe myself that Richard Allen's lying about a lot of stuff, folks. He's lying about a lot of stuff. Richard Allen has mental problems. He's very evil. I wouldn't doubt if he was trespassing on us. But that's a whole nother video for another day. And Richard Allen might be innocent, but just the way he acted and his confessions and the things he said, he wants to kill all of us. That's what he said. He's like, now Richard Allen in his mind might be talking out of his head, but he might be telling, hello Aries, how you doing? He might be telling the truth. And you have to remember this. Richard Allen is a very sick person. I've been there. Everybody's been there that suffered with mental health or brain injuries. Medication, and you gotta stay on the medication for a while. You'll have to come off the medication because it builds up. But then eventually you'll have to either talk to people or take medication or learn to deal with your disability, which a lot of us do. Some people self-medicate. And here's another thing that is throwing this off is Richard Allen was an alcoholic. Who knows what kind of drugs he was on at that time. He also was on drugs from a doctor, drinking, smoking, medication. And if he worked at CVS and had any access to any kind of drugs, it's possible he was doing them. Possible other things were going on. Let's keep that in mind. So everyone's saying he's innocent. Okay, he's innocent. Now we as a society, as people, we have to deal with Richard Allen's brain, much like Keegan Klein's brain. Now, I know you folks say they're not guilty. They didn't do anything. That's fine. If he's found not guilty, we will still have to deal with Mr. Richard Allen and his mind. And I don't know about you folks, but some of the stuff he's saying and on video of him saying and things he was saying, in order for him to be released, he would have to be released into a mental hospital and then evaluated and spend some time there and deal with his problems before he was released on the streets. Because you're crazy if you think we could just let these people, oh, yeah, everything's fine. See you later, Richard. No. Rehabilitation he would have to go through because he has shown everybody that he is psychotic. He does have a problem. And we're going to touch base a little bit on Richard Allen confessing to many crimes and people saying it's not true. How do you know that? Richard Allen confessed to killing his grandfather. Whose? Did Richard Allen kill someone's grandfather and their grandchildren? Richard Allen also said he molested his sister and his daughter or whatever. People say that's not true. How do you know this? They might be so frightened for their lives. They might just say whatever. There's a lot of things to look at here, folks. We know this much. There's been reports of Richard Allen in a bar. One minute, he's a great guy having fun. The next minute, he's telling his wife he's going to beat her brains in as soon as they get out in the parking lot. Get your shit together and grab it and let's go. So we know Richard Allen at a blink of an eye can turn very ugly. Now, once again, I'm not saying Richard Allen is the murderer. For all we know, ladies and gentlemen, this case is more disturbing and more twisted than anyone would ever know. Meaning this might be something darker, and Richard Allen was someone's scapegoat. They didn't want to get their hands dirty. Someone had to go. The girls were talking to men. You had family that were caught making posts, talking about doing stuff, and they love to twerk, and people saying, good God, they're only 13, 14. You got a lot of damaging evidence. You got people saying the girls might have been something going on or seeing someone dating someone, and their family, the girl's boyfriend's family did something. Yeah, there's a lot you got to look at in this case. This is what I know. The time's not adding up. And this is what I also know in Delphi is that train runs through Delphi all day and all night. And you can't go nowhere around that town without hearing that train. You can hear that train inside buildings because we've seen Richard Allen in them playing pool and that horn blowing in the video of him playing pool. I'm seeing Delphiers all over town, and what happens? That train comes through. You can even hear that train, they say, on the bridge. And trains, ladies and gentlemen, they keep time. They're on a schedule, and they keep good schedules. They try and be on time. It is very possible the noise we are hearing is so distorted, so blurred out. Well, Miss Justice Jane, you might be correct. It sounded fuzzy mess. It might be so loud that the distortion is, but it's just, and that's the horn of a train. Very possibly, very possibly. Either that or they edited it out. Somebody did something and edited it out. But that train has been rolling through Delphi, Indiana, morning, noon, and night. Trains. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, trains keep great time. Matter of fact, I used to date a lady. Well, not a lady, in high school when I was in high school. Her father was a railroad guy. Trains keep time because they got to be somewhere to unload. Why? So another train could come on. Very interesting. And what do we have in Delphi? Trains. Now let's take a look at some other things. Now a lot of people are saying, could one man done this? Yes, one man could have done this. Hello, Miss Debbie. How are you tonight? One man could have done this if he had enough time and held the girls right away, meaning he walked up on them, put a gag on them, tied them up, and walked out of there, because I don't believe that no 13 and 14-year-old, as the girls were already scared, wouldn't have screamed whether he had a gun or a knife. People, oh, it was Ron Logan. Are you kidding me? Them girls would have ran their butts off. Ron Logan was in his upper 70s. The girls would have outran him in a heartbeat. The video we're hearing of the girls is almost like they were having just a pleasant day. All the recordings that we heard of people saying that the girls were talking about some creepy guy, and is that creepy guy still with? These girls were cool as cucumbers. That ain't making sense. No one heard nothing. Not making sense. I'm looking for things that sign. Looking for things in the landscaping that would explain how a 77-year-old man would be able to do this. on his own. Now, I'm not saying Ron Logan didn't have anything to do with it. For all we know, I do believe this is a bunch of guys that knew each other. Now, if it is true what some of these great YouTube minds are thinking, that there was something wrong within the family, then if that's true, and if this is a great brotherhood or whatever, some club, gang, whatever, you would need people to do your dirty work or cover it up. Enter other people in the crime, around the crime, seen in the crime. People saying Cody was 100 miles away, wasn't there, but yet we got we got the girl's grandmother saying she was getting ready to walk out the door, and Cody pulled up and drove her to the scene when Cody wasn't even supposed to be around. You got Kelsey talking about Cody. He is so strong. He's very strong, and this is these are things people that Do I think the family did anything like that? God, we hope not. We hope not. Right? Do I think it was? We don't want to think that. Right? They seemed like a good family. They just had a couple bad people around them or whatever. Within the family, we've all had that. Right? If you're we've all had that. And that's common within families in America. How did this happen? How? You got too many people that look like Richard Allen. You got Duvall. You got Sullivan. You got Holder. Right? You got numerous people that look like him. And because we're seeing a footage that is actually morphing in front of our face as he's moving, and it's changing the face. You remember people seeing the bridge guy and automatically uh, the sheriff Toby was a suspect in the case. People were investigating him. It is almost like this thing or these people created this, downloaded it on the phone, and we got 8 different suspects. Let me get to my chat with some of this stuff. Brad, I don't know. I hope one day we can get transcripts to the trial. Yeah, Sleuth Reload, how you doing? Come on in. Aries, hello. There are so many scenarios to this that it is not funny. And I don't care what anyone says. These people should not be getting attacked for starting with the family after we found out of what actually happened within and around the family. And I hate to say it, folks, when you got drugs and bikers and meth, and that's hell. That's ugly. I wish that on no one. These biker dudes will beat your brains, and these are big dudes. These dudes are bad. I'd crap my pants if 100 of these burly dudes they smell like Bigfoot. That's why people say don't mess with them. I don't. We love them, but don't get too close to us. Are some of these dudes animals? Yes. Designed, created, true bikers. Stomp the crap out of all of us. So you got to look at these things. You got to look at the YouTubers that placed themselves there. What were they doing? Were they coming to the rescue of the family? Uh, we've seen this in the summer, Wells case. Exactly, Miss Justice Jane. Richard Allen's 2017 phone has disappeared. No one can find it. Why? Did he film it? Did he film it for his own sicko stuff, or did he film it and did it to make money? That phone is missing, and it's no coincidence it's missing in 2017. I could tell you that much. Did Richard Allen sell the phone to somebody? Give it to someone? What phone did they take from Anthony Greeno? You know what, kid? I know you watch my channel. You are a good creator and an editor, but you place yourself in stupid predicaments just for a southern view, kid. Don't make sense. The whole thing. Now, let's get back to the area of Delphi. Now, you know what, folks? Here's the thing. Richard Allen's daughters and sister said they weren't raped, but we have reports of people that were in the courtroom saying that the jurors actually had looks on their faces of maybe they were lying. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's the reports we're getting. That the way that they answered, they would not look at Richard at all. No one else was there but the daughter and the girl. They were crying. They wouldn't look at Richard. They said no, 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 and they got out of there. So what we see, oh well, they said no, yes, but what the jurors see is maybe two young girls in fear for their lives, or someone's lying. Now they've had what, 2 years to terrorize the family? I'm not sure. We have a woman's hair that's never been tested. To be honest, did they test it? Did it come back Kelsey's, or did it come back a woman's hair other than Kelsey's? Now, we have seen before in the United States many teams, many psychos. We've seen father and son teams. We've seen husband and wife, sister and brother that were completely mad. And do sick, crazy stuff. Now, whose hair was it? If it ain't Kelsey's, you got to explain how it got there. If it ain't Kelsey's, then it's someone else's. And then you got to explain that. For one, this whole case is being done by people that are not professionals. They might be lawyers, they might be judges, but they're not criminal, professional, autopsy people. They're not professional. Probably in a lot of areas, not professionals. They are police, they are that, but they're not professionals. A lot of these people are probably not weapons experts and professionals. they're doing their best with what technology and what knowledge they have. But are they real professionals in a high profile case like this that would be called in that do nothing but murder autopsies, rapes, do nothing but forensic weapons? We don't know. Miss Justice James says nobody can say the RA didn't get a fair trial. He has good pro bono attorneys. He had like 3 spinning their poop. Yeah. Let's see. Brad Lucas says we have a timestamp elevation change and everything else for the girl's phone. Of the data came from the phone, also some from satellite. Yeah. Yeah. All we know is the phone did not move at 2:32. It just sat there. How did it get from this area? Let me zoom in. Well, that's as far as it'll zoom. Where's that bridge end? Right up in here? Looks like. Oh no, right up in here. Now, I think there's more tracks that go along, but that might have been moved depending on when this satellite photo was taken. So I think the bridge ends somewhere over here. So he kidnaps the girls and tells them to do what he wants. And he's got to get from here to right there. He's got to get from here to here in 7 minutes with 2 girls. High water, mud, elevation change. And we're talking a good 12, 15 feet elevation change just to get to the river. And then you got to go up the other side, which is like 8 foot or whatever, embankment or whatever, and get to the kill site in 5, 7 minutes. You think it's possible? Richard could have burned phone for all we know. Exactly. That is true. Maybe that's why the police were digging in the phone pit. Or the phone pit, the fire pit. Wasn't there reports that they were digging in his yard? Burner phone, or not the phone, would be located in a bridge. I don't know. I could have swore Greeno said he went back that night and found a phone that the police didn't find. He can't figure out how they missed it. Now, let me explain something else to you folks. If you are not investigators and you are not real reporters, don't go to a scene of crime and start walking around and putting your evidence there. For all we know, We got DNA, but it could be old Greeno from going back there to do his investigation stuff. Right? You had Greeno's family saying he was missing that day or a couple of days. This is the stuff you you can get in deep crap for that. You can get blamed for a murder, especially when you put yourself there and you say you got weapons and you find a phone that mysteriously investigators missed. Kid, you got problems. Get help. If you ain't the killer, you're crazier than Backcraft. How does he get there? I don't know. In that time, I don't know. The phone don't move again. I do believe the phone was shut off. If it was even there at that time. For all we know, for all we know, I'm going to say this. If anything happens to me, for all we know, none of this case happened the way it did. And how would we know? Because we don't have data. I'm not a government agent. I can't pull up data, phone data that says, oh, holy crap, that phone wasn't even there. Do you understand what I'm saying now? They hold the key. Well, who holds the power of documentation and the airwaves? They hold the key. For all we know, the phone wasn't there when this murder happened. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't got no beef with Greeno. He's a good creator. The dude is a good YouTube creator. But there's a fine line between good creator and madman. Let's just get that straight. I mean, what does it say to you that these people put themselves there in some kind of a murder like this? A normal person would not have done that. Somebody that thinks they can get, that they're better than the law, than the professional people that get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to solve crimes and investigate. I don't know. What does it tell you about someone that tells you they were there that day? They know exactly what happened. And we're going to discuss other things too, because one of my mods was asking questions today about the sticks and people that knew. Well, way before we knew the crime scene, there was two YouTubers that talked about the girls were messed up with sticks and there was carvings on trees and they used sticks, but no one knew that information. And that was 4 years into the case. And they were putting up videos. Yes, that's what happened. And then you had the other guy, SH, that said it was his dad and his son. And they did sick stuff to the girls with sticks and carved into the trees and into the bodies. And no one knew the crime scene or anything about the sticks. These were clues that either these guys were the ones that had the stolen evidence, or these were people that were there, or somehow were getting information from the police and they were leaking it onto YouTube. But after Sheriff Carter said that only the killers would know because we did not release certain stuff, and these guys started talking about sticks. And then years later, we find out, I'll be danged. They're saying that the girls were not hurt with sticks, but their bodies were covered with sticks. Do I need to go any further? I could have been a lawyer. I I could have been a lawyer. And here's the thing, I'm dumb. That's the thing. I'm an idiot. I'm not good at math, science, anything. My brain just goes. I'm an idiot, but it don't take much to put two and two together. And I think two is eight, right? Or wait, four. Yeah, four. There's a lot to this case, folks. If you're new coming onto this case, you got to start from day one. Or I'll tell you what, start a year into the case. And you know what? You won't even find them videos. You will not find the videos that were out in the beginning of this case. They're gone. My videos that I made, some of them are gone. I guess the rigmentation or YouTube, if you don't have so many views or so much stuff, or if you're not, I don't know, popular or whatever, or you don't get enough likes or whatever, I don't know if they take your stuff off of the thing or whatever. And that would explain why a lot of us YouTubers that were on the right path were getting attacked by these YouTubers. The trolls were coming in. We also were questioning the family. Once we found out, like a year or two into the case, I think it was like a year, maybe 6 months, a year, that the family, someone ratted or was turned state's evidence in some kind of a meth ring or club or something. So, you had to take that in consideration. But do I think that these other meth clubs would have killed two young girls? No. I don't think they would have killed the girls. You know who they would have killed? Derek or Eric and the other kid that the Patties had. There's no way, I believe, even a 1% biker, and they're ornery. I would never want to be left in a room alone with one of them dudes. They're mean son of a bitches. I don't even think a 1%er would kill two young girls like that. Not unless they were covering something very naughty or very bad up. And I still don't think they would. That's too much for the club. It's too much for any syndicate, any organization, even Odin's. These guys might have been bikers, but they weren't. It wasn't a group as a whole. They might have been Odin's, but as Odin's as a group, the head Shalants might have not even known about this. They might have been gang members, but not a gang. I don't think any of these people would do something like this. It's bad business. Word gets out you're killing little girls or raping them, and no one's going to want to do business with you, meaning drugs or videos, porn, whatever. Aries, you have a good night. Thank you. I think it was only one person. I think he made them strip. Miss Justice Jane, you might be very right. It might have only been one person. You know why? Because he had enough time. Thank you very much, Aries, for stopping in. You have a great night. Be safe. God bless. Lock your doors and windows. There's monkeys loose in the United States, and that'll be a whole nother video. And do not go by them and feed them, please. Thank you. How did this murder occur? No one's seeing them. A white van. How do you get from there to there 7 minutes? They say there was a van, there was a truck. Did they throw the girls in the truck? We know the girl by 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, there was people out there looking for the girls. Well, it was 5 o'clock here. Down there, it might have been 4 o'clock. That they were looking for the girls out there. That's when Kelsey and everyone went out there. That's when Cody supposedly picked up the grandmother. And they went to go look for the girls to see if they were walking on the road or crossing a field to get back home. There was no police out there until later on in the night. Matter of fact, there was no Amber Alert put out. There was no Amber Alert put out. There was no Amber Alert of missing kids put out. Now, I know the police said because they didn't know if the girls were perfectly fine or not. They call the search off. When do they call the search off? Supposedly, we got reports at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Then people said the search was called off at 12 o'clock. Then they said the search was called off at 2:30. And ain't it a coincidence? At 2:30 or 4 in the morning, the phone powers back up or whatever. How come we got news footage of 11 o'clock news the day of the murders? Of them out there in four-wheelers all over, saying they were out there looking for two missing girls. And that was the night of the murder. And I'm a witness to that because I seen it on the 11 o'clock news. And there's footage on YouTube. We got reports of searchers saying they were in that area. All you folks are lying. The girls were not there that night. They searched that area. Matter of fact, I think we can pull up some footage of that night. I do believe it was Chopper. Was there a chopper out there, or was it somebody photographing something of the night of the search? And there was all kinds of cars. Where were they? Right inside that cemetery. Where were them vehicles? Them vehicles were right over here. Matter of fact, we got two gentlemen that said they were told to go out and help look for the girls. And what did they say? They said, well, we went to the cemetery. They knew Mike Patty. They went to school with him, and they knew him. And so they were going out there to help find the girls. And what was their statements? Well, they came down here, and the first thing they did was look here. They got out of the vehicles and looked around. They didn't find nothing. I do believe one of them said they walked to the river, didn't find nothing. And then what did they say? Then they said after they did that, they got right in their cars, and what did they do? They pulled out, And they said they went right to Ron Logan's. Where was Ron Logan's? Right here. It was right here next to the cemetery. They pull in here. They knock on the door. Ron's there. They say, Ron, you hear anything? See anything around here? We got some missing girls out here. What's going on? Ron Logan says, I ain't seen nothing. But he starts walking around on his property looking. Now we know that must not be true because Ron Logan said he wasn't there. He was in town driving around the time of the murders. And that's true. But by then, Ron Logan was home at 5, 6 o'clock at night. When people started getting out there and searching. Now you have to remember when I say 6 o'clock here or 5 o'clock here, it's really 5 o'clock there, 4 o'clock because there's a time change out south. Very interesting. Do I think a 77 or whatever, how old he was, could have done something like this and got away with it? I don't know. He could have, but then you got to explain who Bridge Guy is. And Bridge Guy ain't 6'4" or whatever he is. Is he? How tall was Ron Logan? I know he was really tall. Why this place? Why here? Why this area? Heck, I think one of the girls lived over here in the field. One of the girls lived right over here. Why here? Why did they pick this place? Why? Because it was so remote. And if we continue down here, ladies and gentlemen, what do we come across? Right down in this area and stuff. What do we got down in here? You can't see it, but there's trails all in here. Nothing but trails. And you know what else is out here? Right off of the bridge. If you continue to walk this off of the bridge and continue to go straight, you know what else is out here? A giant tree out in the middle of nowhere. And what does this tree have all over it? Shoes. A shoe tree. Shoes, ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of nowhere, at the end of the bridge. What do we come across? A shoe tree. There's got to be 50 pairs of shoes hanging from a tree. Was that shoe tree there before? What did Bridge Guy have under his jacket? Was it shoes? Or was it clothes, the switch? What is that shoe tree doing out in the middle of nowhere? That's creepy. That is very creepy. Miss Justice Jane, can you explain what a shoe tree is doing in the middle of nowhere? I mean, I'm no professional, but you're walking, you're in the woods, na 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 na, na 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 na. All this madness is going on, right? You're out there, you know that there's a creepy place. Two girls are there. You're walking, na na na. You come around the corner and the trail, and Oh my God, it's a tree. And it's got 50 pairs of shoes on it. That's crazy. That's very suspicious. What is going on? This must be everything Derek Kurtz and the rest of these guys were talking about, or that this is a place where these people went and they would party, they would cook meth, they would do crazy, crazy stuff. And there's another one who, on camera, told everybody from behind bars he could run that bridge within minutes. That they were so familiar with that bridge that people are scared to even go on it. And he said he would run across that thing full steam within minutes. Within minutes. It does, Miss Justice Jane, and it keeps me up too, and it's wrecked my life. It's wrecked so many good people's lives, our minds, everything. It's horrible. Shoes. Where does shoes? Why is there a shoe tree out there? Why does it look like a little building right here? Why does it look like a little building? See, folks, they've changed the satellite photos. Maybe we are seeing old satellite photos where there used to be all kinds of buildings out there. I heard there's a cabin out there. There's a cabin that people mistake for a cabin or something, or it's a house, and it's out here, somewhere out here. Somewhere around here is a cabin and a house. Within this whole thing. Now, see here, right before the bridge, ladies and gentlemen, if I can zoom in anymore, I won't. If you see here, there is like a road. There's a road, but that gets thinner and that goes all the way around. If the trees and the leaves were off, you would see a trail. I think it splits off here somewhere, but it goes before the bridge. It used to, and it would go all the way around here. And it would go all the way around here. And then there's a trail right here. You can see it. It comes all the way down. And it leads right to where? Both of these areas. You can see the trail. There's like a clearing of trees where it comes. And why? How do we know this? Because there was people out there walking it. There was people out there walking the trail saying we're trying to get to the kill place where they found the girls or whatever, and they took a different way there. Some people I've seen come in from here. It leads right to the spot where the girls were found, pretty much. Actually goes right down to the river. If you look, it comes right down here. It's like a boomerang. And then it comes back around, leads right down to the river. And it's an old trail, but stuff is overgrown it. Trees have grown in and stuff like that. And you can't see it because the canopy is covering it. Now, for all we know, things didn't happen the way they did. And all they had to do, the girls were found right over here, where my thing is right here. All they had to do was walk down to the river, wet clothes, or do whatever. Why? Well, to make it look like they crossed the river or it happened other than what they think possible. I don't know, but there's a lot to explain in the Delphi case. That's why people are so confused, because the case came 360. In the beginning of the case, there was a whole bunch of vehicles they were looking for. PT Cruisers, a white vehicle, a van, a white van or camper, a semi, because they thought the bridge guy was a semi driver. There was a lot of stuff that we were told, but we also were told in the same breath that we were crazy, that it didn't happen that way. Now, 8 years, now it comes out that Richard Allen did see a van there, he said, a white one. Now, either Richard Allen didn't kill the girls and Richard Allen witnessed vehicles that were around. It's very well possible Richard Allen was innocent at the wrong place, wrong time, and they used him as a scapegoat, and he did see a white van or whatever. That's possible. It's possible this just didn't happen the way they're saying. And the police didn't help by telling Mr. Carter, or Mr. Carter telling Mike Patty he owed him one. I know he didn't mean what everyone thinks, but now everyone thinks what happened. Did it happen the way it did? And we're just having mercy on the family? I don't know. My heart bleeds for the family. It really does. It's good. If you've never had a family member that has passed away or died or murdered and had it on social media, you'll never know. I've had friends and a family member that was on social media. You could look it up on the internet, and it gave the full description of what happened and everything else. It's horrible, right? Even an accident, like what happened in my family, having their family or your family for the world to see the tragedy is stressful. So my heart does bleed for the family. But when things don't add up, and then you got people saying, doing whatever, and now we got threats. They're talking about killing people, killing me, killing other people. Heck, now they're going to kill Richard Allen if he's found innocent, and they're going to kill him if he's found guilty. This is a crazy case. If you're getting into the Delphi case, hold on to your seats. Now, we will be back. How did this happen? I don't know, folks. How are there so many people that seen different things, different people there, different sketches? Excuse me. I don't know. But in order to see all these people there at the same time, either someone is lying or somebody is trying to uh, lead us on a wild goose chase. And them people, I'm sorry to say, I know you love these people, might be YouTubers that you folks think are great people. But in fact, and in reality, why do these sketches look like a couple YouTubers? I have no idea. I have no idea. One of them sketches I can pretty much say might possibly be Richard Allen with the Irish hat on, the cap, and the small goatee. But the hair is wrong. And that is common in murder cases. And when you're trying to describe someone or trying to remember someone, sometimes they get little things wrong, like hair. They gave us a description of the face, but the jacket might have been the wrong color, or the hair might have been the wrong color. There's numerous things. Yes, Miss Justice Jane, I am in the battlefields. I'm literally in the jungle. And I'm getting attacked. But it's all right. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people get sick. Why? They're getting attacked by something. Are these people creating something? What are they doing? I have no idea. I have no idea. Are we getting too close? I have no idea. So Richard Allen parks all the way over here. Excuse me. Can I just say this? Can I give you one scenario? If it was one man, if it was one man, what did he do? How did he do it? He drives by. They say, okay, we got his vehicle right here. Okay. He drives by, he parks. He walks all the way in. He sees these girls, right? He sees the girls. And if Richard Allen was there just to get his jollies, them girls would have been dead and he would have been gone. There was no one else around except for the girls. The girls said they seen him coming in. Richard Allen said he seen them girls, but he continued on. He continued on down the trail, walking and a 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 walking. And what does he do? I don't know. He probably jerks off over here, comes around. Well, not literally jerks off, but he's jerking around, whatever. He comes out here, and I think he goes back. He walks around here on this trail or whatever. He's hoping maybe these girls he sees maybe come down here this way, whatever. But then he sees some more girls coming, supposedly that get dropped right off here at this trail, right by this house, right before the camera, right before the camera of the building. So he's coming, he's over here, he's doing whatever. He's hoping someone comes, right, or something. He's waiting. Maybe he's not waiting for these three girls. They're not on his mind, but he's sitting here, he's waiting, he's waiting. Why? Because he didn't even go to it's possible he didn't even go to his mother's. That the camera on that was, they read the camera wrong. It was a military hours. That's happened before. So what's he do? Whatever. The girls come walking. Richard Allen says he sees three girls on the bridge. They walk onto the bridge, right? Then what did he say? He thought, well, he's seen three girls. Two looked young. One looked older teen, right? That's six girls right there, because he said at first he's seen three, and then they changed. Well, he's seen four in the beginning. When he first came in, it was four girls there. Oh, okay. So there was four girls there, and still Richard said he's seen three more girls on the bridge. Who was that third girl on the bridge? I don't know. Maybe there was people there, other people there. Who knows what happened to them other girls? Right? So then what does Richard Allen say? One of the girls broke away and it only left two. And Richard Allen comes that way. But did the third girl leave? That's the question. Because 4 and 3 is not 6, is it? No, I don't think so. I went to high school, but I did have a disability. I didn't graduate. I did play sports and football and do sports in school, but there was something wrong with my oblig. But last time I checked, 4 and 3 is 7. Hmm. What happened to that other girl? I don't know, but soon after, I know Chadwell was picked up with some young girl in his basement. Is that coincidence? I don't know. We don't know. So all this happens. Now, if it wasn't 7 girls and there was only 6 girls there, who's the third girl that was on the bridge with Abby and Libby? Why? Because Richard Allen states in his confessions that he's seen these people. He's seen the girl. He's seen all these girls. He's seen the van that people said we were nuts. There was no reports of that. I was like, I could have sworn in the beginning of this, they said there was a van out there or some kind of truck, but it was a utility truck. Where was that utility truck? Well, I don't know. In the satellite photos way back when, 7 years ago, and 4 score, there was a utility truck on 300. I do believe it was a telephone line pole, big giant white. Either it was a van, a cable van, or some kind of a white, what they claimed to be either a cable truck or a telephone pole truck or something. Maybe that's the reports where a white van came in. I'm not sure. But believe it or not, I have seen photos of a utility truck with like a boom or something on it that was out there. Do I think they're the killers? No, I don't think they're the killers. But this is what I'm trying to tell you, folks: is if these reports were real in the beginning of it, and then we had these YouTubers telling us, "Oh, that's bullcrap. That's not the way they had it." And then 4 years into the case, some of these YouTubers talking about sticks, penetration, and carvings on trees and everything. And then years go by and we find out, oh, there was sticks, but no, there was no carving in trees. Nah, them guys didn't know what they were talking about. What was there? Oh, there was markings on trees and blood. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's just, you're kidding me. So they didn't know what they were talking about in detail, right? No, them guys didn't know anything. But there was sticks there. There was sticks, but they weren't used on the girls or anything. Oh, okay. No carvings in tree. Nah, no carvings. But blood. Yeah, blood and markings on a tree. Oh, no coincidence there or anything. Nothing there, right? Nah, it's nothing there. Nothing to see. Move along. Come on. And, oh, is it a coincidence? All their phones pinged in that area. Do I have to do any more in this case? I know Senate and Congress want me. I know a lot of people want me to work for them. But this is unbelievable. Are you kidding me? It is a whirlwind. It is such a whirlwind. I do believe it's demonic or something. I do believe it's just demonic. Not only is Richard Allen nuts and all these people, it is almost like it is jumping from them to us. And it is just unreal. It's just unbelievable. Why this area? I'll tell you why. They knew there ain't no cops out there. They knew there was nothing out there but one camera. You want to tell me Richard Allen did this by himself? Okay. Then if he did, and it was one man, then this is what he did. He walked down this trail, did whatever to the girls, and he walked right out this cemetery, walked right down 300, and he knows that there's a camera there and it would catch him walking, and he comes right back onto the trail where the girls were dropped off, and he walks and skimmies through all this stuff through here, gets back to his car, and that would make sense of why there was reports of a man on the road over here walking with a backpack or muddy or bloody or whatever. And that would also report of someone seeing someone dressed all in black leaving or whatever on the trail or close to the trail after the murders. So he walks in and he does a complete circle and walks right back out and remembers there's a camera and comes right back into the wooded area and takes this small trail off of the main trail that leads right through here, right through that, bam, boom, he's out of there. Okay, there you go. If it was one guy, that's the only explanation we got of these people seeing bridge guy here, and then after so long seeing someone on 300 walking on the road. If they're telling the truth and they're saying it was one guy, that's how he did it. Because Richard Allen can't be at two different places at the same time, and he can't be six people at the same time unless he is the devil. And ladies and gentlemen, he just might be. He just might be. He just might be. I don't know. I hope we get to the bottom of it. They refused to listen that Richard Allen was just the wrangler and got the girls to where they needed to go. And maybe they filmed it. Maybe there was people waiting here in this area already for Richard Allen to bring the bait. And then they did whatever. And they split up. Richard walked back out this way, and someone walked on 300, and dog guy and flannel guy and dog lady and everybody just disappeared. And nobody heard nothing. They were gone like a fart in the wind. Not one scream, not one noise, nothing. And if you think you wouldn't hear the girls screaming out there, and they were on top of that bridge, and if it happened like they're saying, and one of them girls would have screamed, it would have echoed throughout that whole valley. They would have heard that whole thing. They would have known they heard somebody when we were questioning the witnesses. They would have said, "We heard a scream." The girls were right here. At the time, they are saying there was actually people by the bridge, on the bridge. If these girls would have made a noise, these people would have heard it, folks. Why? Because there was nothing out there. You can hear the train out there. You can hear vehicles driving by out there. It's a ravine. It echoes. Water. Sound loves water. It travels along water. The slightest sound around there would have echoed throughout that valley. Even a car driving on a gravel road, you would have heard. People are out there today, ladies and gentlemen, on that trail, and you can hear cars driving on 300. You can hear them from the bridge. People are saying it's funny out there. You can hear everything. You can hear cars coming on 300. You can hear you can hear all kinds of stuff out there because it's a ravine and there's water, and sound loves water. It travels along water and it travels in ravine. It's like an echo chamber. If you probably don't know what an echo chamber is unless you're into music and recording and doing stuff. But it would echo if the girl screamed. No one heard nothing. Train was coming. Yeah, we can narrow it down to the train. If there's any noise, we got to find out what time the train comes through there. It might come through there all day on time, right? Well, that train comes through, if somebody said 2 o'clock every day, all right. Come through any other time? Well, it comes through about 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock every day, 5, 6, 7 every day. All right. So you would say that we'd be able to hear that train on her on the bridge. Oh yeah, yeah, you'd be able to hear it. Sure. And here's the thing: if the girls weren't there and the phone wasn't there, is it possible these girls were somewhere in town and that phone captured a train? And that train's so close, that horn so close on that recording, that the government figured out there's no way them girls were all the way out at the bridge. Was there anything? We'll never know because we're not hearing the whole thing. For all we know, for all we know, like I said, Richard never went to his mother's. That was a lie. His mother knew he had a disability or was nuts, and she might have covered. We know this much. Richard didn't tell his wife certain things. All he said, he was out on the trail that day, but she didn't know a lot of the stuff that came out. And she asked him, "Why didn't you say that?" But he used in his mind, "Oh, I told you I was on the trail." He just didn't tell her exactly what happened. I don't know, Justice Jane. I've been watching the all these reporters out there in the morning at the Delphi court, in the afternoon, at 5, 6 o'clock at night. I'm hearing that train come through, and it comes right on time. And that train also passed right by the bar where Richard Allen played pool. And we also can hear that train in that footage. We need to get a hold of that footage, Miss Justice Jane. We need to hear that recording, because if them trains only come through there at a certain time, like I said, I used to to date a young lady in high school. Her father was a railroad dude, and I'll tell you this much: trains are on time. They run on time. They keep time. My sister unlived herself. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Miss Justice Jane. My heart goes out to your family for that. My condolences. But that train might play a key part in this case. You know, when I was looking at Ron Logan's land, I almost thought I seen a pentagon. And you do see what I'm seeing. When I first seen the satellite, I'm like, is that an effing pentagon? one of them cult things right there. But then I zoomed in and I'm like, well, what the heck is that in his yard? And you can also see, I don't know, that's weird, man. It's just, that's kind of weird, ain't it? But you can also see it looks like a trail that goes right into the woods, ladies and gentlemen. Comes right down here, right to the lake. The girls were found over here. I don't know. This case is crazy. Many players. It all points to there was many people involved, uh, and they might not have done the murders, but they might have been there placed. Because I've always said this from day one: if you got the right people in the right place at the right time, you can get away with it. And this is the perfect example. If that was the case, and Richard Allen was just somebody they hired to come hush the girls because either someone got them pregnant or one of the family or whatever these people are saying on YouTube, and the girls had to go. I don't know. There's people saying it's possible Kelsey was the one. Kelsey or whatever her name was, the one that was using the counter talking to Anthony Shots or whatever, and might have got figured out, and the girls got the blame. The youngest, Abby and Libby or whatever. We don't know. There is a lot of scenarios, and they all have to go. They're not bad scenarios. They're not bad scenarios at all. People are jealous because they're like, that's crazy, and now it's coming back around. That's not a crazy scenario at all if you know anything about crime or American families and the pressures of military people and all this and that. Does anything I say make sense, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, we knew a long time ago when we started getting attacked by people that we were on by something, whether it be family because we were questioning the family and stuff like that, and people were questioning other things, and then the information came out that um, one of the dudes in the girl's family was state's evidence or it was meth or something like that, and you have to look at that. You have to look at that, and then the rumors of maybe one of the girls was sexually active with somebody, and you know they had to cover it up. That's possible. Um, that's very possible, man. I don't know why these people would. They're too quick to give up on leads, and they're too quick to give up on scenarios of what might have happened. They totally have blinders on. It's impossible. What do you mean it's impossible? There was no van. There's nothing else. This now at the end of this all, we got Richard Allen saying he did see a van, and he's seen a face. Now is Richard Allen a witness to a murder or something sick that happened, and he got placed there or whatever, and he tried to call the police and be a witness before all this happened, before all this came out and these people turned on him? We don't know. Keegan Kline plays a part in it. Why? Because he placed himself there with his dad. You won't find these videos anymore. People are like, where is that video we seen a while back? It's gone. It fell out of rigmentation or whatever from what they're saying. And you got to scroll through people's channels and go through their whole history of their channel. I don't know how many. Justice Jane, earlier you were talking about how many channels has Greeno gone through. I don't know, 3, I think. I don't know. Greeno made it sound like he was a witness, that he was there that day, that he had something to do with this case. It's very well possible he did. These people, something's attacking me. These people, this investigation was not done right. But it was all they had. Why they didn't keep the professionals on it, I don't know. Why was FBI already in that area before Delphi? Because I think we're dealing with a bunch of sickos. That's why I think the FBI was already called to Delphi. We don't have data on all these people. It takes time to get data. For all we know, they went up. The man that's handling this FBI went up to take a look at Brian Kohlberg and the weapon. There's a good chance that maybe something else is going on. Now, I don't know if that FBI agent in control of Delphi is also in control of other cases. It very well might be. But it very well might be that FBI agent was taking orders or listening to hunches and went up into Idaho 4 case. And it's possible he is Cowboy. And I do believe 6, 7 guys jumped out of the vehicle there at the Idaho 4 case, went into the house and investigated and came back out, maybe on a hunch. Maybe they connected some data to Kohlberger's little experiment that he had going on with some of these Delphi nutjobs. Keep an open mind in a murder case, because anything is possible. Anything is possible. Kohlberger was stopped 3 times in Indiana. Indiana was watching his ass like a hawk. No one else stopped him, but he was stopped like 3 times in Indiana. Remember, in a case, keep an open mind. Anything is possible. Anything. We got millions of Kohlbergers in this case. We got millions of Richard Allens. If Richard Allen is found guilty, there's already millions of Keegan Kleins. There's already millions of Brian James Chadwell in our country. And they're not foreign. They're domestic. They're right here in our own country. Everyone's thinking it's other colors and red. No, these are just regular dudes. very sick. Ladies and gentlemen, to have my honest opinion, you cannot try this case in 2 weeks. And I'm going to give you my other opinion. There are so many things that these police had to, and these police wanted to do this, I bet. They just didn't have the manpower, or they just let their pride get in their way, and they just couldn't handle it. Do I think it was a mistake calling off Homeland or FBI? I'm not sure. I don't know what they were going into. I don't know. I don't know. Greeno has made that's true. Greeno has made a lot of threats against a lot of people. Richard Allen has made a lot of threats against all of us in prison, on camera, being heard. These people were in our chats. These people knew eventually it was coming right back around. The case was circling back around. They knew they needed people to lead them away. And the YouTubers that might have known these guys or be a part or be initiated. They needed people to get away. They needed people to spread lies. They needed people to do all kinds of stuff. They needed this, they needed that. All along, the police are telling me only the killer is going to know what happened. So keep an eye on the little details and let us know. Well, we let you know. These guys were talking about sticks and carvings and trees and bodies, and they were so stupid that we paid attention to that 4 years into the case when old SH came onto it and started saying it was syndicate and sticks were used and penetration of the bodies, and everyone said he's a liar. Well, we sat and said you're an idiot, because it was little tips like that no one knew. Nobody knew about the sticks. Nobody. The photos weren't even out. They got the sticks right, but there was no abuse with the sticks that we know of. They got the carvings wrong, but they got the letter on the tree in blood. No carving on bodies, but letter on a tree. They all were friends with the family. Do you understand me, ladies and gentlemen? Greeno said he was dating the mother of one of the girls. All these YouTubers said they knew the family and the people out there. Even Rick Snay was saying he's good friends with Tony Klein and the Klein family. What did we experience? What have they done to us? What have they done to all of us? How many of these people were involved? What in the heck did they do to us? It must be what they were talking on, the government was talking. They used biohazard chemicals on us. One at a time. They hunted us down. They were in our chats. They've attacked me. They've attacked many women, and everyone's saying, "Quit attacking us that way. We're coughing. We're sick. We're What are they doing? I don't know. Maybe it's possible biohazards." Heck, that crazy guy SH was in my chat. I even gave him an hour to explain his story. But then he started attacking everyone in my chat and then jumped over to someone else's live that was in my chat. And they were live the same time I was live. And then he jumped over to their chat. I guess it was calling him names. And then he came back over into my chat. I'm trying to get him to explain what happened. And he was explaining something about stuff. And I'm like, I'm not buying that story, dude. And I didn't. And then the attacks started happening by these people. So we knew that we must have stumbled across some very bad boys. And some of these people died. Some of these YouTubers mysteriously died. Mysteriously. That were friends of some of these YouTubers that placed themselves at the crime scene, that confronted in these people, were good friends with them. What happened to Michael Catt? I liked Michael Catt. I used to watch his channel. But even Michael Catt said he was a suspect, that he got questioned. Now, we have caught these guys lying so much that it's unbelievable. Now, we all know that if anybody was on the court property with a weapon, they would have been placed under arrest. We know that. You can't go on federal property in a court in a double murder case, and there's rumors going all around that you're going to kill people and you're standing in a front porch. Now, we know these people like to try and sue people for slander and making things out to be what it isn't. So do we know if there was weapons on the property of the courthouse in Delphi? Will we ever know the truth? But that's what you folks get for making up lies. Who had the weapon on court property in such a high demand? When you're telling the whole world, if he's found guilty, you're going to kill him, and if he's found innocent, you're going to kill him. It's no wonder Judge Gull has 8 cops walking around her. It's no wonder everybody's crazy. It's in the water. I don't know what they did to us. Miss Justice Jane, my condolences to your family about your family member losing their life by a train. God rest their soul. But I do believe, Miss Justice Jane, that train that is constantly running through all hours of the day in Delphi might be on that recording. How close that train is, how loud it is on that recording, if it is on there, will determine where that phone was when that train blew its whistle. If it is way distorted and actually blurts out anything, then that means that phone was very close to a train horn. If you can barely hear the train in the background, man, then we know that the phone was out here somewhere in the woods. If you're still watching Miss Justice Jane, does that make sense? Does it make sense, Debbie? Debbie says, what time are they supposed to be back in court tomorrow? I don't know. It's 80 today. Yeah, it was real muggy today. Cloudy, then sunny, then cloudy, then sunny. Do you know, Justice Jane, that we cannot trust anybody? That I was talking to people and they said, do you know that your whole channel, that people's channels, that that these people could have sent people in to infiltrate your channel and try and wreck your life or whatever. I'm like, it's just a YouTube channel. It's just, I don't make no money off of it. I don't even have a Go Gap or a Gap, whatever this thing is you start. I don't have no accounts. I don't make a dime off of it. I don't ask for money. I didn't get on YouTube. I didn't even know you could make money on YouTube until I was like 5 years into YouTube. Somebody manipulated the video. That's all I can say. I see SH as bridge guy. I also see Chadwell, Brian James Chadwell, as bridge guy. I also see Sullivan. I also see the rest of these guys, right? Toby, the sheriff, in there, right? Because of the dark outline of the mustache, the goatee. I see numerous people within the Delphi video, right? And at the end, if you folks superimpose it and blow it completely up in some of the photos that are out of BG, you can see what? It sure the hell looks like a photo of Anthony Greeno. I was like, you gotta be kidding. No, that's what it was. Tiny little photo of Anthony Greeno. It's just, I'm like, what? So someone manipulated the video. That's why we are seeing all these people within the video. Either that or it's demonic. It's demonic. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There's only two options. Either somebody monkeyed with it or it is demonic, because Bridge Guy's face is changing, morphine, the lighting is changing, everything's changing. Who is it? I don't know. It could be Alan. It could be 50 other dudes. It could be Sullivan. It could be Duvall. It could be many people. Many people. We don't know because it's changing so much. Klein's, it could be. Why? Because we are not getting a clear photo. It is a still photo from a video, which once you put it in still, it's already distorted, saturated. And then they took a photo and put that out through format or whatever, which distorted it, messed it up even more. And then they said, here, this is Bridge Guy. Well, I got 50 of them dudes living right in this town. Look just like him. It's a giant ring, folks. some kind of it's everything the government said. Oh Lord. All right. Is there anything anybody else got any uh, scenarios? Please leave a comment. If you think I'm crazy, then leave a comment on the video. You're nuts. All right. If you need more proof, I can dig up my papers. I do have a brain problem, but I'm not that dumb. I do things different than other people. Some people don't understand it. Why do you do it that way? Because that's the way my brain does it. Because I have a disability. I had this disability all my life. I've overcome and adapted it to try and do the best I can to use my brain, what's left of it. Because yes, many years ago, I did self-medicate. So, so yeah. Why? Because I was denied. I was denied. Denied. Nah, well, look here you go. I didn't have health and coverage. Every time I went to the doctor, they would, you ain't got health coverage. You can't, we can look at you. You got a problem. You're an idiot. But we cannot diagnose you as an idiot until you pay us. If you had insurance, I can tell you that you're an idiot. But being that you don't have insurance, Mr. Kramer, I cannot fully say you're an idiot. You do have brain concussion. You you got a pretty good skull crack, and but back then we didn't know about concussions when you were a wee man, 13, 12 years old in the lower 70s. Man. They didn't know about it. Right? Now they say you got a mental problem. All right, and this is what it is. I go on. I live. People say, see, you can't believe nothing these people say. They have problems. 90% of these people with mental illnesses are telling the truth. It is the other people that say they're crazy. Ain't it funny when we get too close to something? That's exactly what they say. Don't take anything he says serious. He's crazy. And wouldn't you know it, I think we hit this case right on the head years ago. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I think Richard Allen might have seen something and is scared for his life. Richard Allen might have been there that day. Might have been one of the Delphi 7, 8, 9, 20, 50 of them. Who knows how many? Or Richard Allen was the only one that got caught. But Richard Allen is not the only one that got caught and is not the only arrest in Delphi. There's been other arrests in Delphi. You folks need to look that up. You're not seeing the big picture. Now, you ladies and gentlemen, Debbie, is there anything anyone wants to say? Celt, anybody? I can act just as good as them, man. Do I know if anyone had a weapon on the property of the courthouse today or yesterday? I have no idea. But if they're that dumb to start a rumor like that and Frank Meister say, yeah, I have my gun on me right now and the police are down there and all that, it explains why the judge and everybody's scared when you got people out in front saying they're going to kill him, whether he's innocent or guilty, and maybe do the same to the judge or whatever. I can see why they're. Why is it? I don't know. They're acting. They're hoping someone says something so they can say, I'm going to get him on slander. Because that's the only thing they know how to do. They need money to support their heroin addicts and drugs and medicine. They're probably sick themselves. So they need money coming into their YouTube channels so they can live their addictions and madness and pay their bills. And I have no idea if Frank Meister had a weapon on the property or not. I don't know if Noli did, or I don't know if these idiots are that dumb to create madness. And I call that, ladies and gentlemen, obstruction of justice. They're doing what they always did, lying like logs. Now, you folks have a great night. Be safe. I want to thank everyone for stopping in tonight. You're all great people. We are going to continue to go over more Delphi stuff. Nothing added up. I'm dumb, but I ain't that dumb. What did they do to us all? I don't know. They had 7 years to kill us all, Judge. Mr. Trump, they had 7 years to stalk every single one of us and come up here and poison us, kill us. They paid people. I imagine they paid people money. They paid people in drugs, pills to kill us. The ones that got too close. I'm still alive, Jesus. God. They didn't get me yet. Sure, you're out west. Sure, you are. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, these killers and madmen have been in our chats for a long time. I think you're going to keep adding more bodies to the list of these people that have attacked and been killed. I think is exactly what the professionals are saying, that these people have been stalking us, infiltrating our channels. And yes, using witchery and sorcery. There might have been a sacrifice that day, but now all America's going to have to pay for it. And that stinks. Now, you folks have a great night. Be safe. Lock your doors and keep an eye out for them monkeys. Boy, ain't that a coincidence? We got monkeys all over the place. Labs everywhere in America. It's funny how that just. It's China. These sicknesses pretty soon spreading, folks. They just couldn't come to terms that we got troubles in America. Good God, if we would have asked, China probably would have helped us. If we would have asked Russia, Russia probably would have helped us. We were friends. It was good. It was good. Why couldn't they have all came together? I don't know. All right, you folks have a great night. I might be back here in a little while with a fire video, a nice, peaceful, relaxing, chilling video. Some fire sounds and fire. And let me see what anybody said in chat. Paw prints. I don't know. We haven't seen the crime scene. I don't know what kind of footprints are around the crime scene. I don't know if these people saved anything, did anything worth looking into. I don't know. But show me footprints. Show me they crossed the river. I need stone cold proof footprints. This is the girl's size 7. This is the other girl's shoe, size 10. Here's the footprints, the casting of it. Here it is before the river, going into the river a little bit. Here it is coming out of the river, going up the bank into the woods. You know, here's 3, 4 sets of different shoe patterns, whatever. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. All the phones, all these people that were witnesses, should their phones been pulled? I don't know. Probably. Should the family been gone through and their phones and everything? Sure. Should these YouTubers that were questions phones been pulled and everything? Yep. a lot should have been done, but when you're underpowered and you're understaffed and you ain't got the money, it's hard to do. Now, you ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. Am I professional at anything? No. I am a professional idiot. I'll tell you that. And I'm not a professional at anything. God is. Jesus is. But I'm not. And this world strives for perfection, and the only one that is perfect is God and Jesus. You folks have a good night. I'll see you here in a little while with a nice fire and relaxing. Maybe some guitar playing. Maybe some guitar playing, chilling out. Have a great night. God bless. Be safe. Talk to you later. I have no idea why you're trying to piss off with Dave Levine, Higginbotham, but you're doing your best to piss him off. That's it. That's your fault, not me. Have a great day. God bless.